Does it look like it's live?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, you are now live.
Cool. All right. Well, we're live. Hey, this is John again at Centerline. We're doing something a little bit different for the afternoon update. All of the people who are working on their marketing challenges are really busy. They're kind of going at it hot and heavy right now, making sure that we're getting to a good spot as we go into the evening hours. So what I'm doing is I'm actually sitting inside one of the ShelterBox tents that we put up inside our office so that everybody could kind of see what it was like. This tent, and I'll walk outside in a minute, I'll take you with me, we'll go on a little walk, but this tent is the tent that actually goes out in the ShelterBox and the shelter kits. And it houses people who have been victims of natural disaster. Again, if you're not familiar, if this is the first time you've tuned in, ShelterBox is a charitable organization who creates boxes, literally big green boxes that I'm sure I can find in a minute, full of amazing things like this tent and all sorts of supplies to help people who have been the victim of a natural disaster. Think tsunamis, think hurricanes, think volcano eruption, think all sorts of things, feast, famine, whatever. The thing is, they provide these tents and they get them anywhere a natural disaster strikes, anywhere in the world in less than 48 hours. And they do that approximately once every 2 weeks, so like 26 natural disasters that they cover per year. So they create these boxes made by donations. You can donate by going to ShelterBox.org. They make these boxes ahead of time, they get them out around the world, and then they deploy them when needed. And there's some people who have been living in tents just like the one that I'm sitting in now for up to like 6 months. But that's because in some of those disasters, it wipes out everything. There is no life, there is no plants, there's nothing. And so these tents become their home, and they live in these things. So what we're doing with ShelterBox is a thing called Lab517. We're spending 48 hours to help them overcome 5 marketing challenges. As a charitable nonprofit organization, they don't have a lot of money to spend on marketing, but they have a lot of marketing needs, specifically around the idea of making sure that there's donor transparency, that people know where their donations are going and how it works, in terms of letting people know how their money went to work, in terms of how do you keep the money flowing when there is no natural disaster. When something terrible happens, it seems very easy to raise money. When nothing is happening is when it's hard. And then even coming up with just a communication plan for their ambassadors, for the people who go out and solicit donations for ShelterBox. We need to make sure they're all on the same page. So we're working with ShelterBox for 48 hours to solve these 5 marketing challenges, create a nice communications plan, put a lot of new content into play, create a lot of content frameworks for them to use over the long term, all in the effort of bringing in more money so that they can do more good around the world. So again, like I said, I'm sitting inside one of the tents. I'll grab the camera here, I'll show you around a little bit, we'll walk outside, take a look at how big this thing actually is. It's pretty freaking amazing. Since I'm 6'4" and I can stand straight up inside the tent, it's pretty amazing. It really is like a house. So here we are, I'm standing up straight up in the tent. There's Mary Hanley.
Hi.
Hi. You're looking inside the tent right now. It's going to be easier to see a little bit when we go out, but you can see this thing is pretty amazing. It's huge. Got a nice portico here that we'll walk out through. The massage chair does not come with the tent, but this will give you a better idea of exactly how big the tent is. It'll also give you a nice view of our office. And again, these things are going out in big crates that have lots of other supplies that go out along with it. ShelterBox has been doing this for quite some time. And again, they respond to about 26 different natural disasters per year. ShelterBox. They work with the Rotary Club, which happens to be America's oldest service organization. ShelterBox loves Centerline, which is always nice to see. Take a little step back here so you can see exactly how big it is. There we go. And again, what we're doing at Centerline is we're working with ShelterBox over 48 hours to make sure that we get them all sorts of great marketing material and marketing thinking to be able to use to keep charitable organization alive and working well. I'm going to walk over here and check out the box. This thing's a little over 20 pounds without anything in it. And even without anything in it, it's over 20 pounds, but once it gets all full, most of the time these boxes have to get delivered over miles from the place that they were, and they get delivered on the backs of people in a lot of cases. They can't get there via vehicle, so you can't drive it into the space. You have to carry it in. There's some really cool pictures on ShelterBox.org about how people are getting these boxes to the natural disaster sites. One little bit more. She was. Still working on wireframes? We're going to put them on the spot if they are. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Can I put you on the spot?
Sure.
Awesome.
ShelterBox wireframes.
ShelterBox wireframes.
Oh, oops. Yeah. Yes. For,
There they are. Which project is this?
This is donation. Wait. No, Beyond the Box.
Beyond the Box.
Yeah, and this is specifically redoing their deployment map. So it's an interactive map. The idea is that you can kind of scrub through the years, to 2016, see where they've been so far, and then dive deeper into like the Syrian conflict, get an overview, and then pulling in information and photos and tweets, all to kind of form a story that a donor can subscribe to.
Gotcha. So this is a good way for people to be able to see where their donation actually goes.
Exactly.
Since most of the time people donate and the box that they donate or the box that they donate to doesn't go out like immediately after that. So when people call up and they say they want to donate, it's not like they donate and then the box is deployed the next day. Oftentimes it waits in a warehouse for a while until it needs to go somewhere specific.
Yeah.
But this lets people see exactly where their donation is going.
Exactly.
Very cool. And you all started this less than 30 hours ago, correct?
Yes. Pretty much this morning.
Pretty much this morning.
Yep.
So
Brainstormed yesterday.
so you came up with an idea for how people could have more transparency to where their donations are going.
Yeah.
Putting together a big interactive that could go up on their website and allow people to keep track of this for just about any reason around the globe.
Yep.
Very cool. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I saw Josh.
You saw Josh, but now he's gone, huh? It's the beauty of live streaming, is that you make it up as you go along. So in the event we can't find anybody else, so I'll sit down here with the tent in the background. Good. So as you can see, one of the things we're working on is something that allows people to check it out. That was one of the interactive pieces. Within a little less than 30 hours, the idea came about. People got together in terms of making sure that we had the brand consistency right, knowing all the stories that could be told. Started putting wireframes down. By tomorrow, this will turn into something that's actually starting to work in terms of development. That's one of the challenges. Again, there was 5 challenges that we were working on. That was one implementation of an interactive. We're also making sure that we have some UX done to their ambassador site where people can download all the content they need to be able to tell the ShelterBox story. And we're also creating a bunch of videos that were being shot in our studio next door in terms of making sure that we would have additional content to tell parts of the ShelterBox story. So we'll keep it short for now. I'm going to be signing off in just a second. But wanted to give you an update of exactly what's going on with ShelterBox, be able to see exactly some of the stuff that it is that they deploy and do. If you want to keep up with the story as we build it over the next few hours, we're going through the night and into tomorrow. The hashtag is #Lab517. You can follow us at Centerline. You can follow me at John B. Lane, and I'll be happy to talk to you more about why we're doing this and what ShelterBox does. And you can always get more information at ShelterBox US or at ShelterBox.org. Thanks a lot.